Okay. All right, well, I'd like you all to just find yourselves a nice, comfortable seated position. So if you grab yourselves a pillow or a blanket just to prop underneath your sitting bones, and you can cross your legs. And when you put your legs crossed like this is a Sukhasana easy seated pose. Or you can take another pose called accomplished pose, where you can either bring your left or your right foot in closest towards you, and then the other foot sort of props in front of that other foot there. So essentially you're bringing your knees just a little bit further down to the ground. By using that sort of pillow or blanket underneath your sitting bones, it just helps you to tilt your pelvis a little bit more. And then what that does is that helps to sort of lengthen and align the spine. Okay. You can have your hands on your knees here. You can just have the hands placed on the knees, or you can bring your index fingers and your thumbs together. So that's the chin mudra. Or if you have the tops of your hands rested on your knees, that's the Jana mudra. And mudras are just about it's just about allowing energy to flow sort of different ways through the body. And yeah, just by connecting the index fingers and the thumbs, that's to do with sort of connecting to our higher consciousness. Okay, so taking whatever feels good for you. So lengthening through that spine ever so slightly, tucking the chin in. And then when you're ready, just very gently closing your eyes or taking a light gaze. And as we arrive, I'd just like to remind you it's a Sunday evening. This is really just a time to wind down and to leave any sort of worries, concerns, plans, lists, just parked at the door just for this sort of short session. And you can come back to those at the end of this session, I promise you. And as we arrive in the space, just for a moment, I just invite you to observe your external environment. So just begin to take note of any sounds. So maybe the sound of my voice, or the sound of anything in the room, inside of the room where you are, or outside of the room. Any smells in the room, smells outside of the room, and the temperature. Is it warm in the room? Is it cold? So I'd like you to just observe all of those things as if you're a witness. And if there's any sort of emotions, feelings that start to arise, see if you can just let those emotions, feelings come, and then just let them wash over you. So now taking your awareness away from the external environment outside of your body, and let's just come now to our whole being, which includes the mind and the body. And let's just begin to take notice of the ground beneath us. And maybe noticing our feet and our toes just gently pressed against the mats or the floor, wherever you are. And then following up from the toes, moving up to the heel. And moving towards the knees and just noticing the knees, just maybe gently pressed against the floor. And then following up from the knees, up to the pelvis. And at the pelvis, just noticing your sitting bones against the ground. And just maybe ever so slightly just shifting your weight from one sitting bone to the next. And just this process just helps us to acknowledge that we're here, just gently sat on the ground in this present moment. And then following up from the pelvis, up the spine to the shoulders. And then bringing your awareness maybe down to the arms and the elbows, from the elbows to the hands. And then maybe noticing the hands on the knees, noticing the fingers. And then traveling up from the fingers, back up the arms, up to the neck, the head, and the mind. So now that we've just done a gentle little body scan, I want you to feel your whole body. So just checking in with yourselves this evening. How are you feeling? And are you feeling sort of calm and relaxed? Or are you feeling a little bit tender, a little bit stressed? And as it's the sort of the night time, let's see if we can sort of calm down our sort of central nervous system so that we can sleep well tonight. So when we're a little bit stressed, it does make it a little bit more difficult for us to sleep at night. So by just working on our breath, we can help to calm that nervous system down. So if there is any sort of tension now that you've observed in your body, so it could be in the mind or it might be in the legs somewhere, or maybe you're feeling very calm, which is great. Just pinpoint wherever it is. And then we're going to, through some breath work now, we're going to breathe into that tension and then we'll end up breathing out tension. So just for a moment now, just bring your awareness now to your breath. Just noticing the natural rhythm and the quality. And then start to inhale and exhale in and out of the nostrils. Start to deepen the inhalations and then start to deepen the exhalations. So maybe noticing the breath in the nostrils, take a deep inhalation and a deep exhalation out the nostrils. A deep inhalation through the nostrils and deep exhalation out the nostrils. And just continue just to breathe deeply in and out the nose just for a few moments. See if you can start to slow it down. And you can slow down the breath by maybe starting to count the breath. So then when you next inhale, inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just continue on that on your own just for a few moments. And if your mind is already wandering by this point, which is completely natural and normal because that's what the mind does, that's the monkey mind, see if you can keep returning your breath to the nostrils and to the counting breath. So once you've sort of gained a pattern of inhaling for 4 seconds and then exhaling for 5, see if you can now also bring your awareness to your belly. So as you inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, the belly moves out. And then as you exhale, the belly draws in and up. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, the belly moves out, rises out. And then as you exhale, the belly draws in and up. So see if you can synchronize the movement of the belly with the counting breaths. So on the inhalation, the belly moves out. On the exhalation, the belly draws in and up. And now, another little extra thing that we're going to do, I'd like you to add a pause between the inhale and exhale. So inhaling for 4, pausing for 2, exhaling for 5, as well as the belly movement at the same time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause 1, 2. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause 1, 2. Inhale and then continue on just on your own for a few more moments. Every time the mind wanders, just come back to the breath. And then I'd just like you to come back to normal rhythmic breathing just for a moment. Again, just taking this time just to observe your body. So again, noticing all points of contact of your base, your pelvis, your legs. Just feeling that length in the spine. Now we're just going to do another little breath work exercise. So taking your right thumb and then just placing it over your right nostril. And then just keep both shoulders relatively relaxed, keeping your eyes closed. And just what we're going to do is we're just going to inhale and exhale in and out the left nostril. So just begin now, and we're just going to do this maybe just for maybe a minute or two. And then after a minute or two, I'll just let you know that we've finished, and then you again can come back to normal rhythmic breathing. So inhale through the left nostril. Exhale out the left nostril. So what I'd like you to do actually is when you inhale on the left nostril, see if you can do that for 4 seconds. And then when you're exhaling out of the left nostril, see if you can do that for 5 seconds. And see if we can do that just for like a minute or so. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 5. Through the left nostril. So gently releasing that practice now. Just coming back to normal rhythmic breathing. Just noticing the natural inhalations, the natural exhalations in and out of the nostrils. And so what that practice does, it focuses on the parasympathetic nervous system. So the left nostril is connected to the parasympathetic nervous system, which takes us into rest and digest. And so the sympathetic nervous system, which the right nostril is connected to, would take us into fight or flight. So we just worked on just calming down that nervous system now. Okay, so again, just reminding yourselves of where you are this evening. I've just got a little mantra to give to you both this evening, which you can just maybe repeat in your mind's eye and maybe let it set the tone for the rest of the week. And the mantra is, the core of my being is my ultimate reality. The core of my being is my ultimate reality. The core of my being is my ultimate reality. So just gently let those words sit with you. And I'll give you the Sanskrit version of that too. You might like the sound of it. And the Sanskrit is Aham Brahmasi. Aham Brahmasi. Aham Brahmasi. Again, just let those words sit with you. Maybe let those words just fill you, expand your being, and maybe expanding outside of your being. And then just gently releasing them. As you release those words, just gently thanking yourselves for taking the time just to spend a bit of time inwards this evening, coming to the breath, coming to the present place, coming to stillness. And when we come to that stillness, we find oneness, and within that oneness, we find joy. So maybe then gently just wiggling your fingers and maybe the toes a little bit. And then I'd like you to bring your hands to heart center. As you bring your hands to heart center, then maybe start to rub the hands, creating warmth, creating energy. Rub those hands. And then gently place your hands over your face. It's rubbing your face, maybe gently massaging the face as well, whilst we're here. Keeping your eyes closed and maybe just massaging out the shoulders now a little bit too. Just releasing any sort of remaining tension that you may have. And then bringing those hands back to the face. Gently opening your eyes now. And then just gazing into the darkness of the hands, which is gazing into stillness, and it's gazing into the core of your being, which is the ultimate reality. Bringing your hands to heart center. Namaste, and thank you for joining me this evening.